Yo, what's up, buddy? So today I'm gonna teach you how to do high-end photography. Well, I guess you've read already a title. So what we're gonna be shooting is this little product over here. We're gonna be shooting a watch, and I'm gonna show you how to do high-end commercial photography. The first thing that you're gonna need is a watch or any high-end product. Second thing, an idea with some prompts or some of the stuff that you might add into the shot. In my case, I'm gonna be adding these rocks over here. Okay, simple stuff. They're gonna look good, I think. I mean, I got these rocks while I was in Spain on holidays, and I've been keeping them in my drawer for months. So I think it's time to use them. At this point, it doesn't surprise me. I have fucking Nerf guns there in the background, okay? Not ashamed. First of all, you need a nice camera. If you wanna do high-end, you need a decent camera. Full frame sensor, it's gonna give you the best quality that you can get. I'm shooting on a Sony a7 III. Just get a mirrorless. Mirrorless is the future, man. Then, in regards to lighting, I know people are gonna tell you, go and get some continuous light because you can use it for photo and video. Yeah, but that sucks because you don't get a high output the way you do with the strobes. So if you want to do photography, get a strobe. If you want to do video, get continuous lighting. There are two different uses. This is way better. The amount of power that you can get out of these things, it's insane. You can outpower the lights that you have in your room. You're gonna have more consistency. It's gonna be way better. You're not always gonna have that luck of being able to be in a room that doesn't have any light. These are really cool. They can be powered remotely, so you don't need to have them plugged in. They come with a battery. These are Godox AD200 Pro. If you want to check them out, just go on Google, read the reviews. If you want me to do a video about them, you can let me know. So I'm gonna be using two of these. The reason being is because I want to use this adapter over here, and I want to add some color. I'm gonna use the color rating. In my opinion, it's gonna look really cool with this watch. And then in regards to software, I'm using Capture One. If you're using Lightroom, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I know that there's a ton of tutorials about Lightroom, but just get your fucking hands into Capture One and grind on it. It's so much better, dude. So much better. It's just beautiful. And I'm gonna use Photoshop, Capture One and Photoshop. And I'm gonna be teaching you how to use Capture One as well in the future, probably, because I've noticed that there are no tutorials out there, or most of them, they suck. They're terrible, like absolutely terrible. And it's a super powerful tool, and anyone who I know who is really into the industry, they use Capture One. Nobody wants to use Lightroom. Get Capture One, dude. It's so much better, okay? If you want to become someone who does high-end, even if it's portraits, products, fine prints, whatever, you're gonna need to retouch. Please, I encourage you to spend 50 bucks on this. It's literally 50 bucks. Just buy the cheapest one that you can get. This one is from Wacom. It's quite nice. I bought it secondhand and it's super useful. It saves so much time. Doing retouching with a fucking mouse or a trackpad, it's a hell. I don't want to do that. That's bullshit. Your time is valuable. Just get a graphic tablet. It's gonna take you like a day to learn it, and then you're gonna be so grateful the rest of your life. So I'm gonna teach you how to set up your lighting, how to take the pictures that you need to take, and then I'm gonna teach you how to color grade them in Capture One, and then how to retouch in Photoshop so that you can have a nice and crispy image. So we have our two lights here, okay, both on tripods. This one is one of the accessories that we're gonna use. Always be careful when putting accessories. You don't want to damage the bulb. But I haven't put the other one, which I'm gonna use this softbox. The reason why I haven't put it in yet is to show you something. So some of these softbox and accessories, they might come with something like a small disc like this. I would always recommend you to put the disc. The reason why you want to put the disc is because the light is gonna come out of this bulb. So if it comes out just in the center, it's gonna create a hot spot. But you want it to spread the light as much as possible. So if you put this disc here in the middle and just screw it in a second, all the light coming from this hole is gonna come through here, all right? And it's gonna hit the plate underneath, and then that's gonna make it bounce all around the silver area. Therefore, it's gonna create a more even light. So you want to have that. And don't forget as well to put like a diffuser. Of course, you want to diffuse the light as much as possible. So we're gonna touch this here. Make sure that everything is completely closed, because you don't want any light leakage. You want everything to be diffused when it's coming out. So yeah, now we have our two main lights, and we're gonna use also this reflector that I have here on the side. This is a 5-in-1 reflector. This is very cheap. So yeah, I bought it like a long time ago. I don't know, I use it for everything, man. So inside, as you can see, you have different materials. You have silver, and you can have as well black. In this case, we want to bounce more light, so we're gonna use the white side, which is the side that I use the most. All right, so this is our little scene with the watch and the rocks, and then we're putting over here our key light, okay? Then we have here another strobe. That's the trigger that we're gonna need in order to fire the strobes, and that's a reflector that is gonna bounce the light on the other side of the product so that you don't get as harsh lights, because otherwise you will get like a very, very harsh light coming just from one side. So we're just gonna put here the reflector. Guys, you do not need two lights. You can do everything with one light. Just buy a reflector. It's way more important, and you can use that as well to direct sunlight into whatever you need. So just buy one of those. I know they don't look the best, but they are so useful. And yeah, we've been taking a few shots, and this is the results that we're having at the moment. They're looking quite nice. And I'm gonna choose a hero shot, and yeah, we're gonna continue. This is our hero shot. This is the image that we're gonna be willing to use. You need to edit the colors, and you need to give a look to your image. And then we're gonna go into details and just trying to get rid of all the dust and everything that needs to be removed. The first thing is to correct the colors. I've already done that. I've corrected everything. I give it a bit more mood. As you can see, the image tilted it a little bit. I've also changed the colors a bit so that it's more saturated and more towards the red that I was looking for. I brought down a little bit the highlights and a little bit the shadows so that it's a bit more moody. You need to choose what is the mood that you want to give. Obviously, possibilities are endless, and it depends always up to you, whatever you want to do with your pictures in general. If you crop it, you can have like a nice crop like this. You can just center a little bit. You can move the crop around. You can just follow the rule of thirds if you want. Just keep it like a 1/3. I don't know. You can be creative and do whatever you want. It also depends on what the client might want, but I wouldn't recommend you to crop it yet. So this comes in the end. I always do these crops to try to check if the image is the right one and is the thing that I want. So I come to the first image, the one that has like all the color corrections. I just click here and click edit with Adobe Photoshop, and it's gonna open this dialog. I edit usually in TIFF, but you can also do it on PSD. Do whatever you want. Both formats are fine. Always 16-bit and uncompressed. That's what I would recommend you. And if you can edit on Adobe RGB, if you have a nice monitor, do that. It's always better. And then the scale, use the biggest one. Use fixed and use 100% of your image, because you want to maintain as much megapixel count as you can, because obviously you can always go smaller, you can go bigger. Then you're gonna click here on variants. It's gonna open a variant here. So then we can come here, open with Adobe Photoshop. So when I click here, and it's gonna open Photoshop. I already opened it, this is why it's going so quick. I just don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Then you go into background, which is your main layer. And if you zoom in, you can notice that you still have all this dust around. Okay, the image is looking very nice, but you have a lot of small distracting elements, especially on the glass. We also clean here the box, and we try to make sure, but we still have like some dust and small things that are like very annoying. You also should check like all around your image, and you will realize that you have like small things all around, you know, like this part over here is slightly darker. You need to train your eyes, and I would recommend you to have a really nice monitor if you want to do this, because I have two monitors. I have a Mac, and I have a specific monitor that I use for editing. It's just, you can see so much more in this other monitor, and it will allow you actually to have like a better consistency and make images look way better over time. So then we're gonna zoom in here, we're gonna create a new layer, okay, and in this layer you're gonna remove the blemishes. If you don't know how to do this, it's basically all the small things that you don't really want to have in the image. So we're just gonna zoom in, and we're just gonna go with J, which is this tool over here, which is the healing brush tool. I don't like to use this spot, sometimes it's just get information from somewhere else and it doesn't look as nice. So the healing brush tool for me is the best one. Create a new layer, try to always edit non-destructively, because if you want to make changes, you can always remove the changes and go back to the original, and you know, that's way better. And then you make sure that you select the current and below, otherwise it's not gonna get the information that it needs and it's not gonna correct anything. And you can just select a part, it's gonna read the information from there, and then you can erase those small particles of dust that you have all around your picture. And you're gonna do that all around your watch as well. You're just gonna be checking all around your image, and you're gonna do that for a while until you get the end result, which I've already have. So if we click here, you can see the difference. I know that it's a very minimal thing. A lot of people won't even realize, especially if you post on social media, like you're not gonna care about that. But we're talking about high end, you're talking about high paying clients. Probably this picture might be printed in a massive wall, you know, in like somewhere. So you want to make sure that everything is as perfect and as tidy as it can be. That's pretty much it. You will finish that, and then if you need to add any other kind of stuff in Photoshop, you can always come here. You have curves, exposure, levels, you have so many things. You can do so many things on Photoshop. I'm not gonna touch anything. That's not the point of this video. The image does look really nice already, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this layer that I just created. I'm gonna clip just the blemishes, and then I'm gonna save that, and I'm gonna come back to Capture One. You can see here that we have our TIFF image, and if you zoom in, you can see that the changes that you've done in your TIFF image, they are actually saved. As you can see, one image with the dust, which is the original, and one without it. If you train your eyes, you'll actually be able to see this on spot. Like, it's so easy to see the difference in between someone who has to spend the time editing and the person who has not spent the time editing. And that's gonna be it. This is how you can accomplish your picture. Then if you want to have this crop that we said before that it was looking very nice, you can select both copies, come here into the crop section. You can just apply this crop to the other image, and there we go. We have our finished high-end product, looking crispy and looking hella fire. If you'd like me to cover anything regarding any other tutorials that you might be interested, any other things that might be like, oh man, that looks kind of cool, why not? Just let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the creative process. That's how you create like something that looks this good. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, just comment, like, subscribe, whatever, do all this bullshit, and I'll see you on the next one.